All right, y'all. Today we're going to be looking at WWE Payback, the most recent premium live event. Kicking off September here, following up SummerSlam from last month. A so-called B show. But we'll see that this ain't no B show. I thought this was a stellar show, start from finish. I think it was surprising to a lot of folks, myself included. When I saw the card, I was excited because I love wrestling, but at the same time, it wasn't a blow your socks off card. No Roman Reigns, no Bloodline. But let's just go in. I'll talk about what I liked, what I didn't like. We'll go through all the matches, and at the end, I'll give you a little conclusion of what I thought, and you can tell me what you thought down below in the comments. So we'll just get right into it. Our first match of the night. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. This match shocked me. I was not looking forward to this match. I thought this feud was overrun, as a lot of people did. Kind of played out. They haven't had the best matches, but this match killed it. They were kept off the SummerSlam card, and I think they wanted to send a message of, this is what we can do. I think this is the best match of Trish Stratus' career. Easily, if you have another one, if you want to argue that, go for it. But easily her best match. A lot of great spots. Ended out the feud beautifully. They were slamming each other into the cage the whole time. Becky hit a twist of fate as a reference to Lita. We had the Widow's Peak from Trish on Becky, throwback to Victoria, so a little bit of like ruthless aggression, attitude era type stuff. The superplex off the top rope was fantastic. I think that's the biggest bump Trish has ever taken. I was just really impressed with this. We had a Stratus faction, Bulldog, whatever you want to call it, off the top rope. The only thing that I thought wasn't perfect about this match was Zoe just being able to walk into the cage. The whole point of the cage was that Zoe couldn't get involved and fight Trish's battles, but I think it worked out in the long run. The match was fantastic. Becky eventually pulling it out with the manhandle slam. Really good match start to finish. They both killed it. Awesome match. And at the end, we had Trish and Zoe beginning a little feud of their own. We'll see where that goes. And then we had a post-match segment with Becky and Tiffany Stratton, who is the NXT champion. So we might see Becky head herself down south and take on Tiffany for the NXT championship. I think that'd be great for both women. Give Becky some time, filler time almost, until we get to the Rumble, and eventually who knows who she'll face at WrestleMania, but elevate Tiffany a little bit and maybe even get that NXT championship for herself to round out her resume. Our next match of the night was LA Knight, versus The Miz. I'm a huge fan of The Miz. I've always loved The Miz. Growing up, he was the ultimate heel, but I just love how much he's just a douche, and I love it. So this was a match I wasn't expecting to be the biggest technical match ever. And then we also had the added bonus of John Cena being the guest referee. So we have Cena come out and The Miz come out. They shot an awesome promo with each other, just a little back and forth. Cena kind of playing with him like, well, how do I be a good host? And The Miz, well, you got to dress better, called him a Teletubby. That was fun. Well, you need to get more involved. And then so John Cena is the guest referee. And then out comes LA Knight. And he gets a huge pop as expected. Another thing, I'll keep saying this throughout the video, but the crowd in Pittsburgh was fantastic. They really put they put a lot of energy into it, and they did a great job. So props to you if you were there in Pittsburgh last night. But the crowd was into it. It was a pretty standard match, back and forth, heel versus face. We got the boos and the yays. But LA Knight eventually comes out on top as expected. Thank God they're pushing him. He's not my favorite, but I get the hype. I'm here for it. I like LA Knight. I don't love him. I won't say I'm part of the LA Knight revolution, but I do appreciate the push when WWE can respond to what the fans are giving them and deliver in that. So hopefully they continue in the right direction with LA Knight, and we got a little bit of a push for LA Knight, a rub from John Cena, raising his arm after the match. Hopefully, maybe we'll get John Cena versus LA Knight. That's what I'm kind of feeling here. They had a little tension in the match with John kind of really reffing in there, and I liked that angle from it. So John's going to be around with that writer's strike for a few months, and we'll see what goes from there. But John Cena versus LA Knight would be pretty cool. I mean, at least on the mic. I don't know if we'll get a full series of matches, but that would be pretty awesome. Our next match of the night was Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. When I first saw this match, I wasn't super excited. It was pretty predictable. I didn't think they were going to put the title back on Austin Theory, but it was a pretty good match. I mean, did it feel kind of like a TV title match? Sure. But at the same time, I think this was some of Austin Theory's best in-ring work. He sells well. Say what you will about his character. I think Austin Theory is a pretty good technical wrestler. And he can sell well. He can elevate his opponent. He's a good heelish character, I think. Not my favorite, but I think that's a lot of people's case. But I don't think he's terrible for any measure. But yeah, Austin Theory did a great job. They made Rey look great. Rey hits the 619 to take out Austin here in the end. And there was no dissension from the LWO. They had the PWO, Pittsburgh World Order shirts on tonight. But yeah, Rey gets the victory. No dissension with Santos. We'll see what happens with Santos versus Rey here in the future. But I'm looking forward to see where they take this feud and go from there. I mean, obviously, I don't know what they're going to do with Austin Theory from here, but we'll see what happens with the U.S. Championship because I don't think it's going to stay on Rey for very long. But we'll see for sure in the coming weeks. But I think Theory has potential. Yeah, he didn't get I know they're pushing him so hard, and he's getting a lot of. I don't know. We'll see. He's young. I think there's a lot they can still do with Theory. So I'm hopeful for the overall thing. All right, next match we have what I think was the match of the night, the Tag Team Championship between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Finn Bálor and Damian Priest of the Judgment Day. This match was downright awesome and chaotic. The Steel City Street Fight, the crowd was in it from the beginning. We had chairs everywhere flying in. They played to the crowd. We had Finn Bálor taking out the bucket with the terrible towels, waving it around and then stomping on it. They really played to the Pittsburgh crowd, but I think that's awesome. Yeah, you might be watching it on pay-per-view in, I don't know, wherever, in Ohio, and you might hate the Steelers, but that crowd, they played to it, and I thought that was great. Like I said earlier, the crowd was great. Stomps on the towel. They take the fight outside, tossing them out. Dominic gets involved. Dominic, hero of the night. They're fighting outside the ring. Out comes Sami and Kevin in the Pittsburgh Penguins gear, and they attack each other, or attack them with the hockey sticks. That was really cool. Again, playing to the crowd. I think Michael Cole referred to them as the Pittsburgh Steelers instead of the Penguins. There was a couple commentary mishaps. Maybe that was on purpose. But really good. We got the swanton from the crowd. I can't imagine what it was like being those guys who were right around Kevin Owens as he hits the swanton off the, I don't know what that is, an entryway to hit Dominic on the table. Really cool stuff. He got totally busted open too. They covered him up pretty quick, but I mean, heck, if you were watching, you could see him gushing blood pretty quick. Great match. You also got to see Kevin Owens rip off his KO shirt to reveal the Terry Funk shirt. Rest in peace, Terry Funk. As well as Bray Wyatt. Which I was surprised they didn't comment on that during this pay-per-view. But, I mean, they did a good job with the tributes to him throughout the week. So I think they did a good job. But, yeah, we got the Terry Funk tribute there. Dom again gets involved, and then we have J.D. McDonough come out, and he interrupts a close fall on Damian Priest and basically tells him, like, I'm coming, like, hey, I saved you again. So I like that. We'll see what happens with him as Raw and whatnot goes on the rest of the month. And then one of my favorite parts of the match was when we get Rhea come out and spear Kevin Owens through the barricade. Totally awesome. Rhea Ripley just killing it every week. And then finally, we have Dom come in, briefcase in, smack him in the head, boom, down, 1, 2, 3. Our new Undisputed Tag Team Champions, the Judgment Day, Finn Bálor and Damian Priest. I thought this was really cool how they did this. They put all the belts. They've all got gold now, unless, I guess, J.D. McDonough doesn't have gold, but he's not officially part of the Judgment Day. So we've got belts on Dom. We've got belts on, obviously, Finn Bálor and Damian Priest. And then Rhea, of course, is the women's champion. So they've all got a little bit of gold around their waist, and I think this is going to strengthen the Judgment Day so that we can see this faction move forward throughout the year and then eventually towards WrestleMania. For God knows what's going to happen with that. And good for Finn Bálor. He's been busting it these last few weeks, just putting in the work, or not a few weeks, all year. He's taken a lot of L's. So I'm glad they gave him a belt. And I think he's now a Grand Slam. Yeah, he's had all the belts now, so that's cool. Good for Finn. And then our next match was... Oh, wait, we don't have a match next, but we have the so-called Grayson Waller Effect show with guest Cody Rhodes. And this segment was basically, hey, let's let Pittsburgh watch Cody Rhodes' entrance. Cody will come out. He'll do his usual stick. So, Grayson cuts him off. Cody tells him what's up. Did they need Cody for this? No, but it didn't take away from the show. Cody, out of the ballpark, says, hey, guess who's back? Jey Uso, and now he's part of Raw. So Jey Uso is now part of Monday Night Raw. Jey comes out. Grayson's like, what? Cody leaves. Jey comes out to a slightly different entrance theme. So I guess we have the main event Jey theme. Jey hits him with the super kick. And probably the most forgettable part of the night was this moment. Jey coming back is great, but he's been gone for 2 weeks in the whole, I'm out the WWE. It is what it is. I'm glad he's back. It'll be cool to see him on Raw and how they push him on Raw. So to me, this seems like they're gonna push the Bloodline stuff to kind of put it on the back burner with the Jey versus Jimmy stuff, because a lot of people thought that was gonna happen sooner than later. I don't know if they'll push it to Mania, but we'll see. So Jey's back. Glad to see it. We'll see what he does in Monday Night Raw. He could be main event Jey Uso, World Heavyweight Champion, would be pretty cool. So Jey is back. And then going on to our next match, and what I think is probably the most underrated match of the night, we have Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's Championship, World Championship, and this match was a bruiser of a match. I really like this. This was like, I felt like I was watching, it was similar to like a Brock Lesnar match. You get just two bruisers banging in there and hitting each other, and Raquel being bigger than Rhea. You got to see both their strength, both incredibly strong women, which was really cool. The drop kick was awesome. Rhea bled a little bit, throwing each other around, really physical. Corey accidentally called Raquel Gonzalez in the match. So maybe he just slipped up, or that was just part of the script. Who knows? But Rhea looked great. She squashed her. It didn't feel like a traditional Rhea squash title defense. I thought this was the best match in her title defense they've had so far. So that was great. She looked awesome. She had the China throwback, so in homage to China, the eighth wonder of the world, old DX member. She had the bra plate for her with the spikes. I thought this was a really good match. They hit the hell out of each other. They were banging around, and I thought they did a great job with it. It was obvious Rhea was going to win. I think Raquel isn't at the caliber yet to be a legitimate threat to Rhea, but it was a good. It built her championship up, I think, a little bit more. So Rhea with the win, with the help of Dom. Like I said, the hero of the night. He didn't have a match, but boy, did he play a big part in it all. So shout out to Dirty Dom. We love Dirty Dom. Rhea Ripley takes the victory and retains the Women's World Championship, and hopefully to WrestleMania, where Lord knows who she'll face, but it will be a banger. I promise you that. So yes, going on to our final match of the night. There's Rhea. I forgot I put this one here, but yeah, there's Rhea beating her down. But yeah, you could see the outfit she's wearing. It was a good match. I know people are sleeping on it, but our final match of the night: Seth freaking Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And the best part of this match for me was, unfortunately, their entrances, but at the same time, obviously Seth always gets a big pop with his entrance. Everyone's singing and whatnot. He looked like he was wearing a popcorn bag on his back, but that's besides the point. And then we have Shinsuke come out with this cool, like, anime intro type thing. If you've seen Kill Bill Volume 1, when the bride goes to Japan and they show the history of, I don't know, whoever she's fighting, Lucy Liu's character, I think that's her name, I could be wrong, but when they have the anime cutaway, it reminded me of that, and that was really cool. It kind of built up Shinsuke. Shinsuke comes out, he actually got quite a big pop with his song and whatnot. I mean, it's fun to sing along to, but I think he's getting back up there. I think they've done a good job at promoting him. And basically the whole match was back and forth, but Shinsuke really targeting Seth's back, as he said in his promos. He's going to target his back. He's going to take him out. Also, you have Shinsuke looking like Carnage, which I thought was kind of fun. But back and forth match, some good spots. I don't think it was either of these guys' best match or even in their top 10 matches, but it was a good match nonetheless. Seth eventually pulls out the victory with the stomp on Shinsuke, pinning him. And then I guess after they went off air, Shinsuke attacked Seth. So I think this feud will continue. This was just a teaser match. I know a lot of people were expecting Damian to come out and cash in Money in the Bank on Seth when he was injured. But I think it's better to keep that Money in the Bank saved up. I mean, we just had Io Sky cash in Money in the Bank on Bianca after she was champ for 5 seconds. Last pay-per-view at SummerSlam. So I think it's better for Damian to hang on to that. I mean, he's got the tag belts now, so you don't need to worry about that. So we'll see where this goes. I think they can make it. I think there would be another great match between Shinsuke and Seth. Maybe at Fastlane, that could be a good spot. I don't know if it would be the main event, but it could definitely be a good match to see in the future. So yeah, I enjoyed this match. Do I think it was match of the night? No. If I had to rank all the matches in conclusion, here I put this in because I loved this. John Cena with his little bow tie and suit on, because The Miz told him he didn't dress professionally enough, and John put this on, and he's funny as ever. Thank God for that writer's strike, because we're so lucky to have John back for all this time. So he puts on the suit, but some of the pros, I would say the crowd, the match card in general was really good. There was no stinker of a match. There was no Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler, which is great. So we're going from here and into Fastlane, which is our next pay-per-view, and I'm looking forward to it. But I think my favorite match of the night was probably the tag team match, KO and Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day. It was surprising. I didn't see the Judgment Day coming away with those titles. I'm glad they did. We'll see what they do with Sami and Kevin, but I don't know. I'm not writing it. So I love the women's match. Both of the women's matches were stellar. The other two men's matches were solid. A great show overall. Really good for a B show. And I think WWE did a good job with responding to All In last weekend from AEW. AEW blew the roof off Wembley. And I think Triple H knew that when he was booking this show, so he had to go in there and really send it. I think he did a really solid job for what he had. Some negatives, you could say that there wasn't much story progressed in this pay-per-view. But we have more gold in the Judgment Day. Yeah, the U.S. Championship, nothing's really changed. Ray still has it. But I think there's a lot of kernels. Yeah, it wasn't a major pay-per-view, and I think that's where the B pay-per-view comes from. It is a filler storyline show, but we got great matches out of it, and that's all I can ask for. Like I said, crowd was great. Another letdown, though, was no Gunther versus Chad Gable. They're going to be on Monday Night Raw, which I'll be there, so that's pretty exciting. So I'm glad I get to see that, but there was no way they're taking that belt off of Gunther before he breaks Honky Tonk's record. So we'll see that. I bet maybe they'll save that for Fastlane, and we'll get a Gunther versus Chad Gable Volume 3 for that. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think of the pay-per-view. If you loved it, if you hated it, let me know. Overall, great show. Stellar. I'd give it like an 8.5 out of 10 for a B show. It gets a B, but I think it was an A for a B show. But awesome show. And so y'all have a good one and take it easy.